Alright, so here's it. We got a fun one. Pretty much today we now picked up our anniversary. Hope your polls went well. How'd it go? Let me know. Genuinely curious. Did you pop off? Did you fail miserably? Let this comment section be lit up with your either glorious luck or your glorious failure. We'll find out we'll find out soon when the video drops. Pretty much though, taking a step further, with the new launch over here, we now have that answer that everyone's been asking. Who is the king? Who is the king? Is she is it the team? Is it this? Is it that? We actually picked up the full Chime testing, and I gotta say, for the most part, it's not as good as you think it is, but it's far better than you think it is. And you'll see what I mean in 2 seconds, but like and subscribe, it helps out a ton. Let's jump into it here today. Let's have some fun, because this genuinely is kind of cool, and I think if done right, this could have been insanely good for the game, and could have been fun. But take a look. Let's jump into it. So this is Chime over here. Chime officially has dropped here as part of logging into the game. You can pick up 1 free Chime. When it comes to Chime, you now can check in-game and check what her skill has to offer. Chime is a character that has very simple things. Activates at the start of the battle, affects the king. Wish, attack goes up with the caster's attack continuously. Now over here, affects the king. Damage multiplier goes up by 27.31% for 10 seconds. Affects all allies when it re-enters burst skill stage 2. Has to happen. Everyone knew this would happen because she's burst 2. In order to work with Crown, she has to be a re-enter, and she is in fact a re-enter. So upon re-entering burst skill, she picks up or gives the team, the only team-wide buff she has, max ammo capacity increase of up to 20%. Then affecting the king, again, loyalty, attack damage goes up again. Altogether, everyone was wondering who is the king, and insane cope by the community. I gotta say, insane cope. People thought that the king would move towards everyone on the team. No, the king is strictly Crown, and it made sense. This unit would be like the best unit in the history of the game if it was a team-wide 27 constant buff, and when you upgrade it more, and then like 90% this reaches, and then like 40%. That's insane. That is way too much. That's about 200% attack power given to the team. It's like the best unit in the game, especially for a re-enter. But no, they're not going with that. They were going for king. Now, did it do good in the king aspect? That's the question on everybody's mind. That's the thing that tickles your cranium. Let's find out. So, first thing over here, we tested this on stream today, and I wanted to see what chat said, and chat was unironically rocking with it. Chat really agreed that it was pretty nice, and for the most part, it did really do decent. So again, on paper, yesterday I told you, you're making a sub DPS or lower than a sub DPS be a DPS, and does that happen? Yes. Crown's DPS is definitely much better. I'm not gonna say that this character is like gonna be meta by any means, but it definitely makes Crown a very good DPS. Think about it. It's almost like it's almost 200% additional attack given to Crown, and depending on the attack that you built, right, with Chime, brain just died there. It's gonna be much more, right? So I have JP testers that showed this off. They're freaking whale territory. I don't have the mats to build Chime. If I did, I would do like a full-on build showcase, but I don't have the mats. Now you ate everything, and because of my comments, Isabel ate everything else before this because I fully, don't worry about that. But beyond that though, pretty much where we're at right now is we're about 1 minute into the game. Where is she doing? So we put her on the left over here to re-enter. You want to re-enter, obviously speaking, so you have to give the buffs there. Team-wide, they get max ammo, which is like, is 20% max ammo. It's not insane, but it's still something. This is scope locked, by the way. Picking this up over here, Crown is almost there where Cindy is, bro. Genuinely speaking, this is actually cool. Like, this is kind of cool. And again, I checked with the GP showcases and such, and so what they did, and it's about the same percentage we have over here. Obviously, my game just died here. The same percentage we have over here is very similar to what they have. They when testing had sometimes Crown achieve higher DPS than the B3s running on the team, which it's pretty nice. This character could have been insane if they just weren't, again, I said this on stream exactly, if they weren't cucks about it. They could have just made one more a team-wide buff, and we could genuinely use this character in more than just meme comps and stuff like that. We could have used this character across things, which is what hurts more than anything. I get that they don't want to make a free character bust data. They don't want to make like an SS tier free character, and that's fully understandable. But one more team-wide buff is all you needed, and it would have been like genuinely a usable and potentially even a meta-ish run of some sort of content. Because seeing like, and like this was the chat staple comment. We got DPS Crown before GTA 6. That's true, dude. You never in a million years thought you get like Crown as a DPS. And remember, after testing and subsequent testing when I was off stream today, Nayuda is picking up basically a bit, like a lot more. But to manage closer to what Nayuda is, it requires Chime and Crown together to be the damage of Nayuda. Nayuda doesn't buff as well as Crown. That should be the establishment. That should be the point of the century. But Nayuda does far more damage than Crown could ever hope to reach. If you had 2 Chimes active, then Crown would be similar damage to Nayuda. That's how much Nayuda does on her own. Nayuda is insane for DPSing. Insane. In this case, Crown is, I guess, trying to approach that. Over here again, 419. I mean, and it also scales off, obviously, the attack. So the attack higher on Chime causes her to go higher. So if you went full build on this, you would see some really good damage. And again, I'm gonna show you what JP Tester's cooked up with, and that's like whale territory. I don't have the math for that. I don't have the math for that, but what's crazy is there was so much JP testing for Chime, comparatively speaking to Delta Alt. No one on JP built Delta Alt. I wanted to see like what whales we're testing at. No one cared to. They didn't want to use mats on her. They didn't want to waste it, but they're okay wasting it on Chime. I still find that hilarious, but here's it again as the ending. This is what we picked up over here, 850, 515 over here, plus the 121. Chime did not obviously pop off on DPS, but she did pretty good in buffing, right? Brought her up there. Obviously, Robbie is the V1, still doing really good damage, but kicks it up over here. Now, take a look at JP, though. Understand what JP cooked up. So we got Showcase 1 over here. I don't know which tweet was it that had this one. So someone posted this screenshot. So this screenshot was one of them. I don't know where I got this. I think I got this on maybe on Discord, actually. So 761, 711 is what they had over here in this testing. So again, Crown outdid there's Cinderella. Over here in this testing, Crown outdid their Cinderella as well. Over here in this testing by this person over here, so keep in mind this is the person who had this, their Crown outdid their Cinderella as well. So 401, 3.5, which is like, okay. And then comparatively speaking, they're 2.6 over there. They did it. So another person did over here. Doro Nikke did it. They were showing off their beautiful Crown skin, which Crown picked up a really good skin this time. Over here is what the damage was. So Rapi as the B3 picked up 4.5. Over here is the 1.1. Siren's still doing really good DPS. But look at that. Three times what Siren had as the, it's the B2 buffer. Not even DPS, by the way. B2 buffer. That's actually very, very good. And then over here, another one person testing it. Over here, 1.8 for Helm. And then over here, 1.7 for Crown. And then 2.9. Obviously, depending on the builds and everything, it's going to be a bit different. But I'm shocked that it was that much DPS pickup. Yeah, it's like you read it on paper, it's 200, right? 525 compared to 60, or 52, sorry, compared to 62. And then like 58 over here, a little bit lesser. And then over here, 1 compared to... How did it just swap? What the hell is happening? Oh, this was the screenshot I was referring to earlier. 1 compared to 876. So shout out to Crown Nikke over here. I won't lie, for the most part, it's genuinely a very solid buff, and it's very fun. Would you use this in anything other than like a meme-worthy comp? I don't know. I would say for the most part, as a free anniversary unit, it's definitely a mid one, in the context that most players who are picking up this game to enjoy that free character, if they don't have Crown, she's kind of useless, and pretty much useless. Other than that, it's great to players who have Crown, and I still think it's well done. I would say for the most part, one more team-wide buff would have been super cool to have on the character for the fact of having usability and actual usability through like most of the game. You know what I mean? So for now, if you are wondering, is Crown worth it or Shine worth it? I'd say build her and have fun. It's like, if you want to make your Crown do DPS, it's a genuinely fun character. Would I say that she's like hardcore meta? I don't know. That's like a establishment of re-enter B2, right? You're losing a potential B3 or a potential different B2 buffer in turn of Chime, right? So, what do you think? It's like what it takes to mimic a fraction of our power. That's Chime and Crown mimicking Nayuda's DPS, literally. But very, very fun testing altogether. On stream, we were like laughing at it because it was funny. It's unironically good damage in testing there at base. Now imagine scaling the attack as far as you can. It's even better. Now imagine max building. Oh my god. Imagine after MLB. It's stupidity at its finest, but it's fun stupidity. What do you think? Let me know down below.